Type, and it's Isotype. Isotype's one from set, flashing. Vega one. Where's he come from? Vega one's got up and one.
And it's Cinema's What a Star won the Caulfield Cup.
Or Mystic Aroma, 3 lengths in.
There go, you mug. Mugs, welcome to another fantastic episode, making Queensland racing great again. It's big. You know what this Saturday is, lads?
Yep.
Now, we've got a confession to make, Mugs. We have actually honed in on the form something serious this week, like you would not believe. Replays after replays. I know Bean's been sending links through replays and trainers' reports and everything.
Yep.
Mate, I know Eagle Farm is, look, not your favourite track to punt on, but I know it's your favourite track to party on. You're looking forward to Saturday?
I'm very excited. Can't wait to get out there with a few of the local mugs for our Mugtastic event. And hopefully, I think Eagle Farm's actually getting easier to bet at now because I think it's a bit more even.
Yeah, a bit more reliable, you could sort of say, without sort of saying it's reliable whatsoever.
Correct. Very excited. Trial form's done, replays are done, stewards' reports are done, ready to play.
Excellent. And, well, I've done my form too, boys. I saw 9 favourites and just written those names down. And good fact that I wrote the jockey and trainer down now to stand a little bit more astute as we hone in.
Gender of horse, have we got that far?
Him, her, he, she. Look, as we say every week, we are an inclusive enterprise, corporation, whatever you want to call us. Everyone's welcome, pretty much for the Mugtastic Day Out on Saturday.
And then after that.
Exactly. See you later. But no, should be an awesome day. So I think we've got a fair few tickets sold, but pretty much up to Friday midnight, Mugs. We've got the tickets, so we can send them out. That's what we were worried about, trying to confirm numbers. So if you're listening now and you say, yep, wouldn't mind coming along to the race day with the lads, do it. Get your ticket. See you there Saturday. And other big news, we've got another little purchase, which spruiked on us pretty last minute, but we're pretty happy because the team at Holbert Racing, g'day Will, I know you listen, you better listen because we are major sponsors of the stable and the stable's major sponsors of us. But Sir Carter, so Lloydie, I know you're the breeding connoisseur, but we sort of committed to the purchase and actually had a look at the breeding and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think we've done well. Obviously, 2-year-old Zoustyle colt, so that jumps off the pedigree page straight away. But then out of a dam called Beyonce Star, she was a listed winner herself from memory, and she's thrown a couple of nice ones. Oak Door, one of her probably favourite sons, I guess, a Group 2 winner in Victoria, and placed in a couple of other big races down that way. So I think we've done really well. Obviously, he's cutest, he's Magic Millions, so we'll have plenty of fun with him. There's plenty of racing around, and
bonuses galore.
Bonuses galore, that's right. And we love bonus bets, thanks to our good friends.
We do. Yeah, we do. So leave the Oak Door open for plenty of those to come through. So, Mugs, we've got shares available. We've plugged it enough through the socials. Fingers crossed people can read the text before they ask some questions sometimes. But hey,
read.
There's more questions the merrier because we want people to be involved and be ready to have a good time with us because that's what we're all about. And I guess even for us being like, this is our business sort of plan, is that you get these horses that have been through the Aqua system. Aquas are after Golden Slipper winners to make into stallions. Sometimes horses don't jump and run as 2-year-olds, and that's what we've got with Sir Carter. So
we're happy to hold on to them, give them a bit of time. We've seen the progress with Misty back soon.
And save ourselves $100,000 at the Magic Millions sale trying to buy these horses.
Yeah, couldn't believe
and
that's
while Aquas look like clowns going for Golden Slipper winners, we look like geniuses going for cutest 3-year-old mate on a Sunday. So
that's right.
Look, jump aboard.
I would beg to argue though that a cutest maiden does pay more money than being in the paddock not racing in a Golden Slipper. I reckon we'd be ahead. So great chance to get involved, Mugs. I think all the plugs are out of the way now, boys, because
I think so.
It's time to hone in. It's a big day at Eagle Farm. We've already mentioned this, but we're going to kickstart with a burn almost like a fire burn, because I think we're all in a unanimous decision here that Fireburn just goes out and wins on Saturday. But the last horse to sort of be in this position was Piero. 2000 and whatever. Don't really care. There you go. But the Triple Crown, I guess you don't I haven't really heard him talk about a Triple Crown probably since, 10 years ago, because no horses really
No
ever
slipper comes out.
would like to do it. But it's a pretty unreal achievement to think about it. Seeing as a couple of weeks ago we were listing off no horses won a slipper and then another race, let alone another Group 1 and then the third Group 1 as well. So, Lloydie, just quickly looking at the form, it's pretty much that same field, isn't it?
Yeah, I was saying it being off air earlier that I think 3 or 4 of them all come through the sires where she's beat them pretty convincingly, no weight relief.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so,
the key, isn't
you know,
it?
the only thing is she's got to see out the mile, which, you know, maybe that's a knock, but she's been running away from them last couple.
Yep.
Williamsburg, proven at the mile already on the quick backup, heavy track. He might be that differing form line that you can look into, but gee, you got to be brave taking on the favourite here, I think.
The craziest part about all their races is she's managed to string together what is it now, 6 weeks worth of heavy eights.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's right.
So,
That's it.
so not only is she very
is that the
good,
knock that it could be a soft track?
it still says
Still
they still
heavy
sort of
eight.
say
Yeah, it's still
heavy
heavy.
eight, so like
It
if
will
it's
be.
just any slop at all, but yeah, just
Yep.
conditions to suit.
Oh, and
wins
she's
again.
a beast in a 2-year-old sense that, you know, even when you're looking at these form lines, she's come from behind all these horses and ran past them. So it's not as if she's a front running 2-year-old and you're worried about her stopping with 100 to go and they all just flock past. Like she's just again going to be sitting there, 6-horse field.
Yeah, no trouble. Yeah, if
She's
they-
done
I
it.
think Brendan will be closer though from barrier 2.
Yeah.
I can't see him
But there'll be
really.
no trouble though. Like it's
No,
not, you're not going to
yeah.
get like a golden slipper field where
Just
you know,
as
have
long as
to
it's not a
have
you
to
know
get the breaks.
overly tactical affair and they try and beat her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like but
Well, there we go. We may just have to launch the Punters Club on Saturday into a $1.40 favourite in
we're
Fireburn.
going to $1.55 at the moment.
Oh,
So that's almost that's good.
gee whiz. All right, watch this space, Mugs. We'll be filming it
55%
live, definitely.
Interest.
Yeah.
Well, look, back to headquarters because it's probably the biggest racing calendar day of the day, Eagle Farm. Because there's a Brisbane handicap or whatever it's called later in the day. But race 1, we've got our a good friend Mugette, Gabby. Now she plucked Tyrese a couple of weeks ago at some decent odds, and as a thank you, our good friends are giving us the $3 favourite this week for the Schweder last start winner. So race 1, 1400 handicap conditions. The members cocktail not handicap conditions. We'll be there, Lloydie. But you'll have to get your white jacket and take you along, which should be good fun. But I guess the interest is we've got some southern form coming up now. So you got Greg Ryan and Sterling.
Yeah.
No one knows how to pronounce that last name, so I'll save myself.
Alexiou.
Yeah.
Alexiou, that's pretty
Alexo,
good. That's
yeah.
pretty good. Alexo, yeah, okay.
Gerald Ryan even. His brother, not his brother, Greg.
Greg, well, yeah, didn't mean Greg. Big Jezza. He's one of my favourite trainers too, so sorry, Greg. I mean Gerald. Just call you G, because you're the G. Race 1 winner, Lloydie.
Yep, that one. Green Shadows. I'm pretty keen actually. I really liked his win on debut at Goulburn over 1300, and did his best work late, and then strong through the line and put a bit of a gap on the rest of the field. Jimmy Orman on board and bit of one for the breeding buffs. The mother won from 1200 to 2100. So I think he's going to be a nice colt as he gets out over a bit further. But yeah, keen on him.
Second that, Bean.
I'm with Tyrese actually. I thought it was a pretty good win. I don't think there's any sort of reason to jump off. I know a couple of these Sydney horses. I've tipped a couple later on in the card, but I think Eagle Farm handling it is the key. Fitness no issue. Sticks to the same trip. Maybe wants a little bit further potentially, but look, I think darted up the inside and dashed away from them last start. I think can do it again. So $3.10. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Cornell are the 2 favourites in the first. We've done well. Race 2, now look a little bit more depth in this form, some would say. 1800 metres. Star of Michelin's back, running every week at the moment and flunking every week. Thought it was an Eagle Farm horse and apparently not, just an absolute enigma. But Lloydie, there's one thing that we get you on this show for, and it is absolute Rockhampton expertise. And if you've ever seen Ricky Vale in real life, you're not going to say a bad word about him because he'll eat you and then break your back and then eat you again. But he brings out Namazu, but good friend of the show, Big Wiggo on board. He loves when the North Queenslanders come down to town because he just has that little bit of an edge.
Yep.
How good is this thing?
I think he's pretty smart. Yeah, he's won plenty of races up that way. Former Godolphin, but his last 2 wins at Townsville and Rocky have been by a combined 10 1/4 lengths.
Yeah.
He's pretty smart. Spoke to Ryan Wiggins this morning. He one little one-liner that stuck with me was I wouldn't be surprised if he puts them away. So apparently a bit of a quirky horse, doesn't ever travel like he thinks he's going to win by as far as he does, but he's just naturally talented. So Eagle Farm, a lot like Rocky, a big, long straight, hard track. I think it'll be really hard to beat tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah, second that. I'm with Namazu. I just think, sits on Chocolatier's back. It tends to go forward in the races.
Oh, you reckon he'll be midfield over the 1800?
Yeah. But look, with that sort of form, I think you have to be with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making it pretty simple. And Wigo said he might pop up on Saturday to celebrate. So, mate, if you win the Sky Racing BM85 Cup from race 2, bring it up and we'll have a good celebration in it. By Earthquake as well, which was pretty, one of my favourite horses.
Isn't it? Or no, Earthquake.
The damn Earthquake.
Oh, so
different Earthquake, but I was just trying to see her.
Yeah. Earthquake, no, she's a good darling mare. So by Medaglia, Earthquake.
Beautiful combination.
Yeah,
Got beaten by Moss Fun, I believe, in a
She did, in a slipper.
There you go.
Yep.
There's a history lesson.
Might have even won a Blue Diamond.
Sure did. I think that's why I loaded up the week after. Yeah. Damien Brown on board. Fuck, memory lane here. We were talking about observational before, now we're really getting into it. But just goes pretty well. I think you find too that these horses, North Queenslanders, Lloydie, they get weighted out ridiculously up there and carry the weight and coming to town now, 54 on the back.
We'll be a kilo over, I think, because we go fat. So.
Yeah, we go fat. Stop boxing, mate. Do some weights. Race 3, boys. We'll move first 3 races. We'll try and move through quick, boys, and mugs, so we can listen. But the 2400 at Chris Waller handicap middle distance staying adventures continue this week with that set distance. And we've got a lot of favourites here. Street Dancer, who absolutely pantsed them last start, but Lloydie, Luna Snit, Rations,
There's a few.
Savvy Oak. Broxsun, maybe once upon a time. Aquilion, Bean to Beans banger a few times. It's one of those fields, but Street Dancer's the one that probably looks the most reliable out of a very unreliable bunch.
Yeah.
Ryan Maloney, DV Eagle Farm, David Van Eagle Farm, $2.45. Have I spoken too much?
Yeah, it just wins. I made it my best of the day a fortnight ago and they scratched it. It was $7. Comes out on the Monday at Doomben and wins by 6 as a $2 favourite. Like, where's the justice in that? Now I get $2.45, please. But I just think it's just pisses in again, doesn't it? Against these.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I'm with it. I think I was pretty keen on Aquilion last start, Ipswich. I think it made my best of the day. It was pretty ordinary though, but I don't think it deserves to be 15 finals, to be honest. I think if you want to have exotics, I'd be including that one. But yeah, you have to be with Street Dancer here. I think it's just a lot better than these. I think. Yeah.
Like I mentioned last time, like you go back to its form and runs behind Love Tap in Group 3s in Sydney, and it's just got to win.
Yeah, and that last start win was just watch it again just to get yourself excited about having a punt. We'll probably, hopefully we'll be on next week's show and say, geez, that $2.45 was a gift, wasn't it?
Yep.
Should have been $1.15. It's that simple there, monks. That bloody simple.
Yep.
Race 4, boys. Now look, we're getting a little bit more tougher now because we've got a field that's stacked up. 12 horses in it. The young guns are going around for the old Happy Easter from the BRC 1400 metre clash. Now, what a fantastic gesture from our great friends at the BRC. We haven't been kicked out of the bar yet, so we can sort of say what we want. Till that happens, we're going to be going in. Wish we could be leaving in the Lamborghini, but what a segue into the number 4 favourite for Chris Anderson, KWT on board Lamborghini. Very well named, $2.70. Won impressively on debut, last start 4th. I guess they're not going into a $2.70 pop at Eagle Farm on a Saturday. But being again, form line's coming from everywhere here. I know you're a bit of an astute analyst on these lightly raced horses.
Yeah, well,
give us some some scent.
I'm not sure about that necessarily, but I think there's one here at a bit of value that we can be all over, and that's Mickey Rose. Look, it was pretty wide, but sat in behind Natuno, who came out and absolutely walloped them first up, and then second up out the sunny coast, I believe, it just sort of sat off them, gobbled them up, and was just a heck of a lot better than. We get $15 here. Jim Byrne on board. Look, Eagle Farm's a bit of a similar surface to Sunny Coast. I think Lloyd, you mentioned that earlier. Nice big wide open track. You'll get plenty of pace from Sarweedy and the favourite. I think they'll sort of pair off, and if Mickey Rose sort of posies up, Jim Byrne in behind him, sitting 2 or 3 pairs back, I think. Peak Fitness. Yeah, it'll be straight past them. $15 is a gift.
A gift.
Gift.
Wow. Happy Easter gift.
Yep.
It's an interesting race because I post race I backed Mickey Rose last start when it won at the Sunny Coast. Mark Duplessis rode that day. He's hopped off to hop on Elude for Chris Muntz, but Elude also went to the Gold Coast on Saturday, and I was talking to Caitlin Muntz last night, and she thinks it's going to the Gold Coast. So that leaves Mark without a ride in this race, which I just thought it was weird that he's hopped off something he's won last start on.
Yep.
In saying that, I'm not with either. I'm with Invanovic.
Thanks for wasting a
I
minute
just
of
thought
our
it was
time.
a bit of interesting information.
It is. We always listen.
Invanovic for me, Nat McCall, Jimmy Orman, he's flying. 2 starts for 2 minor placings, both at the Sunny Coast.
Yep.
Beat home Honeypot on debut, she trialled good the other day. And then third, behind Sneaky Starter and Perfect Mission, who both went well in the Magic Millions 2-year-old race. Since trialled well, Barry 10, I just think maybe, like Beam said, there's going to be a bit of pace. Yeah. He's always been forward in the run, but I'd almost be interested, hoping that he snags back from the wider gate and can let the horse sprint at the top rather than trying to sustain a hot speed. $6, I think that's not a bad bet.
I'm gonna get another $1 and throw Saweetie into the mix for everyone. I just think it's time to put up or shut up with this horse.
Yep.
Beaten twice as favourite. I think the stablemate last start seems to be a bit of spruik out of the stable. They were pretty bullish post-race, of course. That would go well, and that was the other Golan runner of the race. And just quickly looking over, there is no other Golan in this race, is there? So Sweetie on top for me. Steph Thornton on board in the famous Brooklyn Hustle colours. Rosemont Stud, great friends of the show as well.
Yep.
I think it's time to go. I reckon the boss man could be in for a big Eagle Farm day, which is not something that we hear very often.
I don't think I've tipped him in any.
Well, let me convince you otherwise throughout the show. So there you go. Interesting fact about Rosemont Stud. Now, Lloydie, this might be a bit before your time, but do you remember the old cotton-on polos that you used to wear, like the school dances and stuff?
Yep.
So that's the mob that created Rosemont Stud. The cotton-on logo.
Yeah, I thought it looked a bit similar.
Yeah. There you go.
That
so
would be before Lloydie's
if you're
time.
like me, this is what we used to do, Lloydie. We used to get the cotton-on coloured polo.
We'll have to get you one. You're about that age right now.
Put another one over the top. So
and you
turn
the
have
collars
collars
down
pop.
or leave the collars up.
So you literally just be wearing 2 shirts and just have different colours. That was what we did, mate, back in the 90s.
That's how cool we used to be.
Not even the 90s, the 2000s. That's how bad it was, wasn't it?
Wow.
Used to work, mate. Trust us.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at you now.
Yeah. Look at us now, mate. Doing a podcast with someone younger than us. Should we spice our excitement back up and distract from that memory lane ticker and look at an all-age stakes?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we can jump down the road.
I said pre-quaddy, but yeah, race 5 might need a little bit more time to think about. But we love the championships. They're unfortunately over. Or do they sort of coin this as day 3 of the championships?
No, this is gone.
It's over.
Yep.
It's just all-age stakes game.
Yep.
But I mean, there's a reason, Mugs, we don't often reflect on last week, and it's generally because we want to move on very, very quickly because we've got nothing really to brag about. But, well, Lloydie does, that's why we don't even ask him. But last week's Randwick results, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are we in for much the same with an all-age stakes?
Who would know?
We'll do it next week.
It was good, wasn't it?
Well,
we saw the
First of all,
I hope someone listened to my half little plug for El Patroness in the Oaks. I didn't, but I did.
No.
I did give it a mention on here.
I actually do have a bugbear that I want to bring up on the weekends Group 1 racing. This caper with they whack the crap out of the horse wins, Nash gets banned for, 3 weeks or something like that, and fined 40 grand, but the result still stands, is just a stitch up, because if Jamie Carr belts Zaki 2,000 times as well, think it over, like, no disrespect to think it over,
might not
it's a
win.
super run, but it might not win, and so you're not comparing apples and apples, and then he cops a fine. I'm sure the owners will probably sling him, maybe a fair bit more than the 40 grand for getting the Group 1 win. But what the hell's going on there?
Yeah,
like either don't fine them and just leave them do whatever the heck they want, or they do it straight away if there's a decision made and then the results are finalised. And that has to happen obviously pretty quickly. I don't know whether you include some other sort of group in there, like on top of the stewards to review just that part of the race, but you have to do it straight away because it's a joke.
Otherwise, it's like a protest basically.
Yeah, it's a disgrace. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty stiff.
Yeah.
Well, and if you just look at it plain and simple, and I know it's never plain and simple, but if you break the rules of whatever sport, it's cheating. And if you cheat, you guess what? You don't win. You often get disqualified.
Yep.
So what's the difference?
I just don't understand it.
The fact it doesn't affect the result.
It's just ridiculous. So
There's no
Doesn't give a
deterrent.
shit about 40,000.
Don't do it, or it affects or change the outcome of the race. Kind of thing.
No
It's got to
deterrent.
be some kind of action there. Anyway, that's
On that then, what's Nash on this week? Does he do the exact same in the All Stakes, mate?
he's on Ellsworth.
He's going on holiday anyway. May as well get another.
He'll probably be leading, I guess.
If he's paid the 40k, he's figuring, well, if that's the benchmark that I set, I'll get another little clip in the winnings here, pay my 20k maybe, and then I'll go to the Maldives for 4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he do that on Ellsberg?
Expensive holiday.
I don't know. I do have good news though for the fans of the Neesham Yard. I've spoken to some of our colleagues down in Sydney, and I've bought every thermometer in the state. So there is no chance that there can be anything elevated about my longest temperature on Saturday.
Fantastic.
Which is who I'm extremely keen on in this race. Bar the minor mishap there, goes to the trials, comes out, runs okay there. Look, I think he could just be a fair bit better than this lot. Handles the heavy, loves Randwick, and I think he's going to be mighty hard to beat at about the $6 quote. I'm pretty keen on him.
Yeah, I've been keen on him in this race for a while, because that's just what they've said it will be his target, and they've bypassed the All-Star Mile. They didn't go to the Doncaster, they didn't go to the George Ryder, they didn't go to half of them along the way.
Because he keeps getting too hot.
Yeah, that's why we're buying the thermometers.
Yeah, so probably will be having something on him, but in her swan song, I'm with Tafani. I just think the clockwise direction, where she's won an all-age stakes before. She's won 2 Group 1s this way of going in Brisbane, over 1400. She was a winner 1400 first up, got beat second up, finished midfield in the All-Star Mile, which has then produced Zaki, Mr. Brightside, on Thunderstruck. That
all run
form's
pretty well
pretty
out of
good.
it.
Back to Sydney. Wet track query, but she's won a couple of starts on a soft. $12. I think I'll be backing her and Mwanga.
She always gives you a good run.
Yeah, and I'd love to see her go out and win.
She's never backing off them.
Queensland Group 1 champion, really.
Well, that's it. Yeah, she'll go down in the history books.
Yeah, very interesting race, because you've even got, looking at the speed map, there's speed everywhere. You might remember Olmedo absolutely leading pillar post up here one day, but that seems to be the only time they've ever led that horse. Look what happened, and it's probably got the gun draw, but it's 100-1 as Olmedo, so that sums it up as well. And I guess track, Shelby 66, the horse of the here and now in the emergencies isn't going to start yet, but if it gets in with a heavy,
no,
bloody,
can start now and win.
Oh, you're not a fan, are you?
No, I'm not. No,
Exactly. Well, anyway, I'll get to tell you why I'm on, I guess. In the Congo, I'm pretty keen on it, to be honest. I think the backup, I think Marzu is probably the next big thing,
I think
to be
Mars
honest.
is pretty good as well, though, to be fair.
So,
I don't
form-wise,
think Mars is any cat.
Yeah, no slouch.
no slouch. And if Olmedo, for some reason, leads in the Congo, is probably going to have the box seat. If Olmedo, who knows what Olmedo's doing, they don't even know. So if it doesn't, in the Congo, probably takes this up and goes, because there's a bit of speed in the race, but I think it's all drawn outside, and 550, not great, but Winners win, mate.
Yeah, and I jumped off, so
That's
that's a good
pretty
tip.
good for you. Yeah.
Well, don't worry, I was on last week too, so. No, I'm trying to skip that race.
I like it.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What do we, we're back in Eagle Farm, by the way, Mugs, if you're still listening. Thanks for that. What do we do with Festival Prince? There was the hype. Yeah, well, I'm trying to build the hype before you declare. But there was the hype of beating the Go Onesie factor. Go Onesie, geez, we won't talk about that from last week's results. But just hasn't done what we thought it would do in these 2 starts back. Is it just a fact of...
The Gold Coast is just I think if a horse doesn't run well at the Gold Coast, it's just a straight up forgive every time. Like the Magic Millions, like I know there's a bit of form that comes out of that event, but the Gold Coast form on that track, it's a specialist track for certain. Like they either run well there or they just don't. And he was miles off them on the corner. It was never a hope. And he charged home, I think, what, 4th he ran or something?
4th, beat 1.2.
Yeah, like I mean, pretty good run. Last start, basically won, and then Bullfinch jumped. Yeah, just put it head down on the line, and and then weight swing there. Look, I think it's a living, breathing certainty on the weekend, to be honest. Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, pretty close to identical thoughts. 4 kilos is the weight
it's
advantage
just,
that he gets. An extra 100 metres, you'd have to think, is enough to turn tables.
Yeah.
Robbie Flood, Barry 4, I think it's... I was on it first up, was happy to be against it last start. Got it right, thankfully, but I'm happy to be back on Saturday. I think he's a very, very, very good bet.
Yep.
There could be a few live in the last man standing. Couldn't there?
Yeah, it might just be us 3 that are alive because we've backed the same horse every race.
There's a few short price favourites getting around there.
Pretty much, I'm hoping that you 2 lads carry me through to the last round, so I'm just jumping on all your tips this week, to be honest. Yeah, can't add much, except, I only heard of Bullfinch last start when it beat Festival Prince, but I'm hoping that was just bullshit. Yeah, as you said. As you said. Okay, we did make that pretty short and sweet, which is exciting. So, quaddie time. So, Mugs, listen up, because what we're going to tell you right now coming to the quaddie is probably one side of hearing things, but we really need some good form and intel coming in on Saturday to the Mugtastic Day Out. Because the B-Man, he's going to be running the little quaddie club, so bring your cash for your buy-in.
Looking $5-10 buy-ins. I think, for the Sydney Eagle Farm quaddies.
Yep, and we're going to pretty much have 10 horses in each leg and come out with 3% and split the $40 profit between 50 of us. So should be very exciting. But this is great for us as well, because we need to almost, sort of set the bar.
Yep.
Race 6, 1,600 metres. The old Stradbroke High Tea, they must be not getting too many race sponsors this week, the old BRC. Probably because they've channeled all their marketing for our big day, thankfully. Sienna's Choice is your favourite, and it's $5 a field, pretty much. And Gave Us Up is your second favourite, which I think we've all given up on Gave Us Up, Lordy, when you declared it once upon a time and comes out the next start and wins, doesn't it? It's a pretty deep field of just horses that I reckon, again, I'm not going to bore you with the names, but we've backed most of them. We do need a back one this week. Thankfully, that's where the Mugs are going to help us out with maybe a few other picks to round out the quaddie, which means that we're going to win regardless.
Very keen on liability here. In the Bullfinch Festival Prince race last start in the blanket, it was in the blanket finish, just missed the bob because of the subsequent winner we talked about. Look, I don't think there was a lot of pace here. It draws 11. I think Jaden can take it to the front. He's got the 2 kilo claim on board. If it gets the trip, it wins. Pretty simple. But first go the mile, I believe. That was the only query for me. But I think if it picks up and goes okay, can be winning.
Yeah, I'll be having it in my quaddie, but I'm actually very keen on one here too. Always Sure for Gary Moore and James Orman. Jimmy's in for a big afternoon. Look, 3 runs this prep, all in Sydney. Doesn't jump out off the page. 10th of 11, 4th of 13, 10th of 13. But first up was behind More Sundays, who donkey licked him last weekend in the last.
Yeah, wasn't that a...
Next start, 4th to Military Expert, who's been in some group races, those 3-year-old races, and then last start, 10th behind Achira. Chira then went around in the Vinery or one of those fillies races. Pretty handy form, gets to the mile, 4th up now. Last 2 starts have been on wet tracks in Sydney. Gets back to a good. All 4 of its wins have been a good track. He's 2 from 2 at the mile. I think he's going to be that. He's going to be fit coming off 3 wet track runs back onto Eagle Farm dry deck mile. He just gets that really nice run in behind as well, and hopefully you've got Oakfield Prince who'll make sure it's solidly run. I think liability obviously maybe Firebox and Belmaurice can go forward as well. So I think $7, $2.45 the place. Always sure for Gary Moore. Bit of a rhyming.
Gee, that's t-shirt quality. That I tell you what, Gary, come up to the Oaks room there at Eagle Farm and give us a t-shirt. I'm going a bit rough too here. Oakfield Prince on top, Lloydie, as you mentioned, is a bit of a speed demon. And going through the form guide here, now this may be incorrect, but has never really seen a dry deck in its 9 starts. So Damien Lane, not the jockey, the trainer, brought this horse up. Doesn't really have a form to boast that it's here for a winter carnival, put it that way.
No.
So it might just be a matter of chasing some dry decks, and you know what you're going to get at Eagle Farm. So barrier 4, big Rhino Maloney on board. It could just jump out lead and maybe catch me if you can, and who knows what we're going to get. So same thing, 17s, $4 or $5 a place. Quaddy legs, that's what we're about.
That's what we need.
It's what we do need, because coming into race 7, and we're getting into the good stuff now here, Mugs. Daybreak Lover, 4X Gold, unofficial sponsors of the Mugs. We're going to have a bit of a unofficial sponsors wall, I reckon, on Saturday. Yep, that'd be great fun. But Price, Kent Jr., Greenbelt, Lloydie, you've been giving us the hype factor about this horse, that it's just that damn good. Barrier 13 in a pretty good field of Queenslanders looking for that sort of step into the bigger and better races. Is this thing just that good?
I think he is very good. And especially if you listen to the Sprint, then he's won the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup already.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far with him. He's won a Cranbourne Maiden and a Sandown, benchmark race. But they've both been over 1600 as well. So coming back to the 1400, that's a concern. In saying that, he is classy. He'll go forward. He'll lead from barrier 13. Larry Cassidy's going all right. Hopefully he doesn't have to pull the goggles down and fix up like he did on Go Wanji. But look, I do think it's a deeper race than what it looks on paper. I know you'll touch on it being Release the Beans. Dark Destroyer, the Kiwi horse, it's a Group 2 Auckland Guineas winner, and even Flying Crazy, I think, won the Canberra Guineas 2 starts ago. So I think, and there's more chances than that, but I'm with the favourite.
Yeah, if Ashgrove comes out and wins, I'm gonna cut my left foot off. Seriously, that would just do my block. I'm with Release the Beans.
I don't think it will. Thankfully.
I think Release the Beans is. I know Greenbelt's pretty smart, but I think Release the Beans is almost close to a good thing here. Never missed this track. I think 2 wins and 3 minor placings. 2 from 4 to trip, 1 for 1 track and distance. Gets up to the right. The key trip here, I think, over the 1400. It was pretty good last start. No knock there. I think if you backed it last start, you've got to load up and barrel again, because I think you'd be winning. And Heathcote, Jimmy Orman, I tell you what, if he has a good day, the Mugs have a good day.
I'm having something on him in the Jockeys Challenge, even if he's $1.10.
I reckon
it'll mean it's a payout at the end of the afternoon.
I reckon we've backed him in about every race.
$10 and $1.10 for an $11 bet at Ascot when we get there.
The Heathcote yard is an Eagle Farm yard, I believe. Actually, interesting on that. Where's Forster's runners? Are the horses in the stables yet? Because surely it should have about 20 running at Eagle Farm. I don't think I've seen one in any of these fields yet. So, yeah. But Release the Beans for Bean.
Saving herself for the big times, mate.
Yeah,
I'm with you there, mate. And I think you'll be happy to know, I think Ashgrove might be a Derby horse. So first up may not be his go.
Yeah,
so your foot might stay on.
I might not.
You do a shoey out of your foot and you top off. That'd be fun.
I tell you what.
Get Tony Gollan to come up and give you a bit of a how's that
I
as
need
well,
to
I
have
reckon.
about 1,000 on it at 16 to get my money back from what it's cost me so far.
What, to attach your foot back on as
And
well?
it's 4 starts.
Yeah, but I went heavy. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, this is not the Ashgrove show, boys.
No.
Yeah, no, this is the Release the Beans. We were both pretty keen on it last start too, and it just run into third, which doesn't help. But
No.
That's why you just go back to the well.
Win Saturday.
So you go back to the well. Well, we're 2 legs down. I think we're a bit more confident in that leg. But we are all taking on Greenbelt, which is the $2 shot that could just come out. Could be anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to move on. Ooh, battery's getting low on this recording thing. It's big time Ascot Quality Handicap, sponsored by Sportsbet. So the Sportsbet Ascot Quality Handicap. Don't confirm that in the form guides, everyone. I think we've got a Dooman 10,000 winner here, Mugs. I'm declaring Zoustyle as the best of the day. Last prep, they toyed with how long this horse could stay up for before it not broke down, but just didn't win. Figured that out. It's only going to have 2 starts this prep. It's going to win on Saturday, save for the Dooman 10,000, bang. Zoustyle was an Everest contender once upon a time. Things just haven't gone his way. I think he just wins for the boss man TJ in what's a pretty damn good little field.
I was a contestant for the 100-metre sprint at the Beijing Olympics in 2008 too, if I wanted to dream high enough, but doesn't necessarily mean I was good enough to win it.
Be there.
I'm keen, but like on a horse, but I'm going to let Bean go with it because I know we're both keen on the same horse. So
there is one thing he does well when he brings horses to town, CJ Waller. They just win, and I think Written Beauty for the stable, Cassidy on board is as close to a living, breathing certainty in this race. It is a super bet. Last prep, it was about 3 lengths off on Trivier, beaten by Rocking Horse. And then that comes out and wins the
Hang on, Larry Cassidy's on board. Well, then Zoustyle too far in front.
Comes out.
Was there any repercussions for that, by the way?
Comes out and
of
wins
course
the
not.
Newmarket. Look, it's 2 for 4 this trip. It'll be off them just in behind, I think, 2 or 3 pairs back. Hoping not the fence because I'm not sure if that'll be the place to be. But this back market, carrying air, it'll just go straight past them.
Yep.
Lloydie,
anything to add there,
discuss
mate?
the trial, perhaps?
yeah, the trial.
Trial form.
I know.
Jeez.
No, look, yeah, I was talking about it. Classic Waller trials. You look at when Winks trialled, you look at even Espiona's trials at the start of this prep. They're always
How's that for comparison factors?
yeah, they're out the back. They're getting cuddled and they're really strong through the line.
Yep.
That was exactly what Ridden Beauty did. She put about 6 lengths on him in 3 or 4 strides.
On the dirt trial as well, so
the
should handle
synthetic, so Eagle
should
Farm
handle
should
the
be
rock
fine.
hard good force
Yeah.
surface on
I was
Saturday.
going to say, if she doesn't handle the Eagle Farm synthetic, we've got one up the coast as well.
Yeah, and I think from memory, in her first, when she won 5 in a row, she got beat on debut, won an X5. That was a Canterbury win and a Moonee Valley win, and from memory, broke track records in both starts.
Yeah.
So if she can find that, which I think Waller can, get it back there.
Yeah, she's very, very good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
is
she's
this
just
first start for Waller as well?
correct. Yeah. I've got it going here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, first start for
There you
Waller.
go. Okay.
Yep.
Big push from you, lads. So, good luck to yous.
Thank you.
Well, we got 2 in the quaddy there in the
Yeah.
in the second last. Mugs, then we come to the get out stakes, and look, we bring the crowd in just as much, but there's another faction that probably does it just as well as we do, and it's the My Runners crew.
Oh, they do.
So now, Lloydie, I'm going to let you lead us in here. Now, My Runners, they're always up and about, but they've got Dusty Tycoon here
Yeah.
in the last. It's $4.50 or something favourite. It's probably opened at 40s, to be honest, and it's been smashed in. Mugs, if you like Dusty Tycoon, good on you. If you're one of the 75 million owners of Dusty Tycoon, well done.
Yeah.
Have something on it now, because this thing's going to jump at about $1.20, I reckon, come Saturday. So if you don't like Dusty Tycoon, you like something else, wait till 20 seconds past jump and you get the best price of the day for whatever you're on.
Yeah, I'm with Platinum Euros. We got a 1200 metre race, benchmark 80, by the way. Platinum Euros had a big sprig early on. It was there, didn't quite put it all together, but first up at Eagle Farm over the 1000 a couple of weeks ago was really strong late. Probably had to go back that day from the barrier, and Mischief Managed was off and gone. Jimmy Orman, Tony Golan on that occasion. 1200, he's never fired a shot in his 2 starts, but that first up run suggested to me that he wanted further. Hopefully they're running on.
How old is Platinum Euros now as a horse?
Just 5. And he's only had 9 starts.
No, I was going to say, he's been around for years.
Yeah.
Obviously, problems after problems, but
Lovely race.
Dusty Toku's number 1 fan. Are you on?
No, we obviously we're selling the new horse in Sir Carter, but the first of the Sirs to lead us off into the promised land is Sir Warwick, and he'll be winning on Saturday. He was really good.
He was good
First up.
Yeah.
2 for 2 track and distance.
Yep.
He can sit behind him. He doesn't have to lead. I know he did lead in the sum of the 4 wins last prep, but he has the capacity. Kicks off a hot speed. Look, I just think he'll be winning. I think 550 is a spoil, and we'll just be waving by at Dusty as we pass him at the finishing post.
Mate, I don't think we'll be passing Dusty because I think Sir Warwick is best ridden when he just goes bang, leads, see you later. I think
I'm just saying he's got.
Yeah, he's
I think
versatile
he's
for
got
sure.
gears, but yeah.
I think I just think that's when he's at his
best.
utmost, most low key flying. So I'm on board too. A couple of big shout outs. Brad, always a ripper horse to have around.
Great name.
In
It's probably the best trained horse in the state.
carrying 70,000 kilos too. Tremonto, we're never going back there, I don't think. Us three, at least.
Just
No.
so.
And you know what? I'm happy that Dusty's going to be carrying the My Runners grandstand because Sir Warwick could be carrying the Mug grandstand, mate.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those races. We're getting a bit of value, as we said. Whenever these great horses from the syndicates pop up, well, whew, time to play.
Yep.
Time
exactly.
to play. Now, boys, just quickly, your bangers, your locks, your best of the day, because again, we're going to be there on Saturday. We need to give some confidence back for what we can confirm is the one and only sure things.
Beans banger for me. Look, I have to be with Written Beauty. I think it's a very, very good thing about the $8 or $9 quote. But I'm gonna have another little Beans multi. I reckon it's a good thing too. Look, I won't take it on the nose, but you got Release the Beans, the place into Festival Prince the win. I think is a good little one to save it a have.
Jeez, double trouble, mate. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Lloydie's lock. Gonna go to the first. Green Shadows in race 1, the 2-year-old up here. I just think might be better than him over 1400.
Yep.
Around the grounds, Caulfield race 3, Point Nepean. Lloyd Williams, Nick Williams.
Yeah, that was very good.
It was very impressive, and the post-race interview from Nick Williams said he's the real deal, he's a proper stayer, and he's a major player in the Cups.
Haven't heard that before from
No,
the team.
I know, but it's a pretty thin race too.
What price?
250 we're getting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that'll be a nice little, nice little fill-up.
Easy.
Have him all up. Festival Prince all up.
Add it to the bean multi.
Yeah.
Bean, we'll have to take you on for a bit of a side hustle on the day because I think Zoustyle's my best, and they're both going around in the sports bet Ascot, Brisbane, whatever they call it, handicap these days.
I think probably a rumbo by that time of the day.
Yeah.
I'd hope so. Maybe it's just whoever finishes closer. Kind of deal. Gets a drink.
Cool.
Could just be one way I get a free drink out of you.
Can do.
Mate, give me your around the grounds because I've got one at Caulfield too, but I'm just
haven't-
trying to find what race it's in.
I haven't really done an around the grounds yet. I've got yet to review the Caulfield and Randwick cards.
I'll give you another around the grounds, and it's
Okay.
a future spec. So we're going to have to we'll fill it in while we're talking, because obviously markets are open for the Brisbane Winter Carnival. Which, if you listened last week, Marks, you would have seen us request Mystic Aroma for the Doomben Cup.
Yeah.
Good friends have put her in as a $34 chance in the Group 1. So
That's
that's
the value we get it as owners, Mug. So if
Exactly.
you're thinking about
yep.
our new boy,
Very generous of them. But the other one that I want to give a little push to, you know what, forget it, didn't accept in the nominations, but not there at Kembla. So
that's right.
we'll go over.
I can take over
Yeah.
from here because I have found what race, and this is a bit of a hard spiel for me, but I do remember once upon a time. I'm not going to show you the phone.
Oh, I know what you're doing.
We have a bit of fun on this show with futures markets and hype horses that potentially aren't at that level of hype. One this time last year was a horse named Ayrton. It's going around on Saturday.
Yeah,
It's
right.
at Caulfield.
Yeah.
I just will never forget the interview where out of Ayrton or I'm Thunderstruck, which one had the bigger boom on it from the stable? The answer was adamantly Ayrton. So I'm guessing it comes up first up. It's about 270, I think, of that race 8 at Caulfield. Can can get the job done and then go like a busted nut for the winter carnival like it will up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've also got a few, speaking of like boom horses, we've got
I was
Kementari.
gonna
You're going to
get
get
to
there.
that. I was gonna say
We got Kubrick.
exactly.
We've got Brooklyn Hustle on Friday.
We've got. So if you're not, well, you're only watching this because you follow us on social media, but keep watching us because we've got a pretty good fun couple of days coming up with. Well, we don't even need to put content up.
No.
You just look at those names and go, oh, I'll have my own fun now. Just watch it go around. So yeah, Special K. I am sort of hoping, that the big fella lasts for maybe another year because I wonder if it's ever been done, but a horse that's side a foal has then raced against its foal in a race because Kementari would be able to do that. I think he's a 7-year-old
He
now.
sticks around.
6 rounds till maybe a 9-year-old. Maybe his progeny are coming up through and they're running second and third with a bob on the head.
Big Parade's the favourite in that race. Is it in the Everest yet?
No.
Not yet. There's
Not
plenty
yet.
of spruik though, isn't there? About
I believe it's favourite up here and a few of.
It's a chance in a 10,000.
Mm.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Yep.
But it'd probably have to improve 15 lengths.
Yep.
To get second to Nature Strip.
Oh, just to win
Or
a
Shelby
good one.
66.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see who they bring up here because obviously Nature strips off to
Well, Marzu's
Ook.
coming.
Marzu. Yeah, right.
Marzu's coming.
Marzu's just
Eduardo,
chips.
And is
they'll
it
have a crack.
$3
surely.
210,000 favourite.
Well, they're not bringing it up.
No, Paddock.
Apparently
Everest.
not. Apparently not.
Interesting.
Well, Eduardo would have to have a slot already without it being official.
Without being official.
So they can go, well, we're prepping for that. We're not impressing nobody no more. We've already done that. Well, already you got Nature Strip and Eduardo. It's a matter
gonna
of
be an interesting
who else
10,000.
can gain 15 lengths to get close.
Marzu.
Marzu
Yep.
for the Everest.
Cool.
Yeah, jeez.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
now, Marks, I think we sort of said last week we'd have a look at those Doomben features.
Yeah,
but
we're just too
we got-
excited by the Mugtastic.
Well, yeah, it's a
Day
big
Out.
day, and plus the all-age stakes pretty much is the start of into sort of Goodwood, Stars, which lead into Brisbane. So we'll have a bit of an idea of
Yeah.
Sydney horses that may be coming up, because at the moment we just think it's all Queenslanders going to win and run and win. So
There hasn't been many travel to Radelaide yet though. Have you noticed? Like in
Does-
prior years, they normally
does any trainer want to ever go to
No one
Radelaide?
wants to go there.
no, but they normally
Shambles.
do take them over a few weeks before
Yeah.
those races. But I haven't noticed any trainers really popping
Well,
up there too much.
Even the
Interesting.
Spruce, like, what is it? We pretty much straight into Adelaide after this
Yeah.
weekend, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know,
So
it might be a couple of weeks till
I think the
To the group races,
Southeast
but-
Australasian Oaks is next Saturday.
yeah.
Yep, there you go. And then
Fortnight
what?
into the
Sangster.
Yeah, the
2 weeks
Goodwood's
in
the
the Goodwood.
21st. Sangster might be, I can't remember if the Sangster's a 7-day backup into the Goodwood or a 14.
I think it's a 7-day back.
Seven, so it's probably the same day as the 10,000,
Yeah.
May
That's
14.
right. Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic. We don't care about that though because we're a Brisbane racing show.
That's right.
And we're here to hone in. And Mugs, get on board. No matter what we're doing, just get on board.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Mugs.
Cheers, Mugs. See you Saturday.
Set.